Contender regime boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. What's good? We live again. We are live again. Let me see. Make sure everything's straight. Yeah, man, you know I had to pull up on y'all. Chop it up, man. See how y'all felt about last night's fight. And then also, you know, where this leads us going forward. Ryan Garcia went out there, put on a very dominant performance versus Javier Fortuna. Exactly what I think most of us all expected. Shout out to my brother D Luckett in the building. What's good? You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all hit that like button as you pull up. I appreciate you. Shout out to the brother David. Say I'm right in the building. What's good? Shout out to my brother Kano Loco Sports in the building. What's good with you, man? What's happening? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? Let me make sure everything's straight. I don't know why that shit seem like it. Okay, we good. Shout out to the brother Big Mike, Real Talk TV in the building. What's good, man? What's good, man? Everything A1. Just chilling, you know. Want to see what y'all thought about the fight last night. You see, you know, Ryan Garcia, he called out Tank Davis. That's been a fight that's been brewing. I mean, if we looking at its totality, it's been brewing for years. But it seems like it's more realistic than ever right now. Both guys, we know Tank Davis and Mayweather Promotions, they've been trying to make that fight for the longest. And it seems like Ryan Garcia and Oscar De La Hoya, they are open and ready to make that fight. I think this is the perfect time to make that fight. D Luck can say he impressed. Okay. We gonna talk about it. Said I think Haney would have won 12 rounds with Fortuna, but outboxed him for sure. Yeah, you know, styles make fights. Different guys bring different skill sets to the table. I didn't expect Fortuna to go 12 with Ryan Garcia. You know, Ryan Garcia is a very explosive puncher, fast hands, got power. He's not extremely athletic, you know, tall guy, rangy. Ryan Garcia know how to put his punches together and get you up out of there. I think it's definitely some things that he still need to work on, but no fighter is perfect. He's still young. You know, I will say that I like what I seen. I'm not gonna necessarily say I'm impressed, but I want to see what y'all think though. Kano say I was not impressed. My prediction was exactly the fight, what the fight turned out to be. Big facts, big facts. That's how I had it, bro. Like I expected Ryan Garcia to go out there and obliterate Fortuna, and that's exactly what he did. At the press conferences and at the weigh-in, Fortuna just looked old to me. He looked, you know, like a shop-worn fighter. You know what I'm saying? He looked shop-worn. He looked like he'd been through wars, multiple injuries. I mean, this is exactly what he has been through in his career, but it actually showed on him. Like he looked like a fighter that's been through wars and been through, you know, hella injuries. I mean, I didn't expect anything different than what happened last night. I was more so looking at how Ryan Garcia performed, how he looked. He still, you know, have some small things that I would like to see him work on, like not keeping his chin in the air. You know, he always stands straight up, you know what I'm saying, and have his hands like this, and his chin is always like high in the air. I love the fact that Ryan Garcia goes to the body as well as he does. I think that's a great attribute for him. That's something that a lot of young fighters don't do. And he commits to the body. And I like how he set his shots up. Said, yeah, that chin need to drop. Big facts, bro. Big facts. Shout out to the brother King Scorpion in the building. What's good? Say he gonna be a little predictable for Tank, but he look real good. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. He look good, man. He look good. He look good, you know. He look good. Like I said, the chin definitely need to drop. I would love to see Ryan Garcia use his jab more. I thought he was patient. I thought he picked his shots well. You know, these are tools that he's definitely going to have to bring with him to the Tank fight. But that defense gonna have to get some work. He gonna have to work on that defense. Said Ryan better stay away from Tank. He not ready. Pete, damn, I always mess your name up, bruh. Soli, damn, bruh. I swear I be messing your name up, dog. But you know who I'm talking about. I'm gonna call you P, bruh. Salute, bruh. Appreciate you for pulling up. Said big homie had to come through and show love. Ryan should fight T.O. or dude. He said, hold on. Or dude Tank fought at 140. Oh, you talking about Mario Barrios? I think Barrios is gonna stay at 47. But that wouldn't be a bad fight. Both of them dudes, tall, rangy. That'll be a good fight. Cruz. I wouldn't mind seeing Ryan Garcia versus Cruz. I'm gonna say this. I think it's now or never. Go ahead and get that shit out the way. I know they want to build. Now, another question that I wanted to ask you guys is that, do you feel like Ryan Garcia and his team, they really gonna try to make the fight now? Or is this just another opportunity to get a buzz around his name and call out Tank after your fight? After a dominant knockout performance, is this just another tactic just to get more buzz around his name? All right, I just knocked out Fortuna. Let me call out Tank because that's the thing to do. Y'all think that's what it is, or he really want to fight Tank? Because Ryan Garcia has had ample opportunity to fight Tank Davis, Devin Haney, you know, probably could have fought Vasil Lomachenko. I mean, Ryan Garcia had an opportunity to fight so many top guys, and he still ain't made it happen. You know, every time the fight actually becomes realistic, something happens. You know what I'm saying? Something happens where he finds a way to wiggle his way out of the fight, or he would literally come out and tell you, like, I'm not ready for this guy. He literally came out and said, look, I'm not ready for Devin Haney right now. I don't want to fight Devin Haney right now. You know, or, you know, he got mental health issues and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully he's back and, you know, ready to actually make these fights. Hopefully that's the shit that he's saying is what he truly believe and what he really gonna do. Because I want to see that fight. I think it's long overdue. I want to see that fight. Shout out to the brother Asing in the building. What's good? Shout out to the brother Dunn Sand in the building. What's happening? Appreciate y'all for pulling up. Croc in the building. What's good? Say, my man, I'm almost 60 years old, and your perspective on Spence versus Crawford is A1. Hey, man, appreciate you, OG. Appreciate you for pulling up, man, and showing love. 100, dog. You know, we just be talking that boxing over here, man. Everybody that pull up to the channel and the live streams that be coming on the regular videos, man, these guys really have a good understanding of the sport, man, and we just come through and chop it up, you know. We just come through and chop it up, man. I appreciate you. Said, hold on, one of the brothers asked me, he said, how you think a fight between Boots and Rashidi Ellis goes? I think Boots will crush Rashidi Ellis. He needs some more work. Ellis needs some more work. We'll talk, if they actually, I want that to be a fight that's realistic. I know before the fight, before his last fight, he mentioned that he was open to fighting Boots. But I think his team moving him real slow because Rashidi Ellis just fought a dude that was like 13-10. He shouldn't be fighting guys like that right now. He should be fighting guys that's way more advanced than the last dude he fought. I think they moving him slow and trying to like build him up because he got some stuff he got to work on. I like Rashidi Ellis though. But he got a lot to work on. Shout out to the brother D Lucky in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said, I like Ryan's body attacks, but Tank is too low to the ground for Ryan to get off on Tank's body. I agree with that, D Lucky. I agree with that. You know, and I think him trying to go to the body on Tank Davis will ultimately put him in a vulnerable position because his chin is always in the air, and then when he get low, he just gonna be an easier target for Tank. You know, Tank is great with the uppercuts. Tank also goes to the body well. Tank has great punch placement. He just really knows how to put his shots on the money at the right spot. And when you take into account the combination of speed and power that Tank Davis have, man, all it takes is just one shot for him to put you in a bad position, and you'll be out of there. And we've seen Ryan Garcia go down. You know what I'm saying? I think Ryan Garcia will be a sucker for the uppercut of Tank Davis and the lead check right hook. I think he'll be a sucker for that. It's gonna be very interesting to see how Joe Goosen helps Ryan Garcia game plan for Tank Davis, because I think that's gonna come into play. They're gonna have a hell of a game plan. I know Coach Calvin and Tank is gonna be ready. Yeah, Ryan Garcia, he gonna have to use his mind a lot in that fight. He can't just go in there thinking, all right, I'm gonna do him like I do everybody else. Just use my raw ability, punching power, hand speed, use my length and my size, and just walk this guy down. He's not gonna be able to fight Tank like that. He gonna have to be very strategic. He gonna have to get him a jab. Footwork gonna have to be way better. He's very flat-footed. That's bad news when you fighting Tank. You don't want to be flat-footed with your chin in the air fighting Tank Davis. I mean, you're serving yourself on a platter. The lead right hook might be the shot that get Ryan out of there. Yeah, I think so too. I think it's either gonna be that or the uppercut. I would put my money on the lead check right hook from Tank Davis. Shout out to the brother Murray in the building. What's good, man? What's good? Said they hired him, Rashidi Ellis. Yeah, they definitely hired him, dog. You know, I thought he should have been stepped up, but I'm glad that he did sign with PBC, not because, you know, of a particular promotional outfit or network, but the most of the top welterweights are with PBC. So I'm hoping now that actually raises his level of competition, you know, and hopefully he'll be able to get more of an eye on him so he can showcase his skills. But Rashidi Ellis definitely needs to step up the competition. As far as him fighting Boots, I want to see it, but I don't think he stands a chance. I ain't gonna lie to you. He got a lot to work on. Did you see how Fortuna was real close to landing that straight right in 4 and 5? Tank lands that easy. Facts. Big facts. Ryan doesn't crouch. The uppercut won't be easy to land. Ryan is tall. I think Tank Davis will land an uppercut to the body, and he gonna make Ryan Garcia change his levels. Remember, Tank Davis's uppercut, he can hit you the way he places that uppercut. That bitch can land anywhere from here to here. You know what I'm saying? And he can make Ryan Garcia change his levels. Trust me, when Tank lands to the body, you gonna change your levels. He not gonna stand tall like that because his body is too big of a target. Tank places body punches real well, and watch that uppercut to the body transition to the head. Watch. Salute to the brother Devin Block in the building. What's good, man? I appreciate you for pulling up. What's good? Said I just left I left the Rise podcast to come over here and talk boxing with you. Already, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Salute to you for pulling up, bro. You know, so do y'all think, number one, since we got more people in here now, was y'all impressed by Ryan Garcia's performance? Did his performance make you change how you originally looked at a Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia fight? Did what Ryan Garcia did last night change your perspective on that fight? Shout out to the brother Captain in the building. Was good. Said hell no. Because I'm getting a lot of people are coming off as impressed. And that's not a bad thing. I thought Ryan Garcia looked good, but I thought that performance was expected though. I didn't expect Javier Fortuna to pose any type of real threat or present any true challenges to Ryan Garcia that would, I don't know, make him elevate his game or make him bring something out that we never seen before. I didn't expect that. Have y'all seen any changes since he's gotten with Joe Goosen? The fight didn't go 12. Fortuna really didn't bring a whole lot to the table, so it wasn't much that we was able to see. That's why I wanted him to get in there with you know, with a Isak Cruz or something. Somebody that was gonna make Ryan Garcia, you know, come out his shell and come out of that level of comfortability that he has, being so comfortable fighting with his chin in the air, really not worrying about no return fire. Even though Fortuna was close as hell landing that right hand a lot of times, but he just couldn't get it there. I want to see Ryan Garcia get out of that level of comfortability that he has and take his game to another level. Said Tuna laid down. Facts. He definitely laid down, bro. He wasn't there, and I saw that leading up to the fight. I'm like, man, Fortuna, he looking old, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, he looked old. He looked like a shop-worn fighter, like he done been through the ring already, and he was just there to be a body. Shout out to the brother Antho Lockhart in the building. What's good? Tank gonna sleep, Ryan. He's still flat-footed, and Fortuna was being timid and predictable. Exactly. Those are my exact sentiments. Those are my exact sentiments. Said no, Tank gonna whoop Garcia's ass. Facts. What y'all think about Ryan Garcia being at 140? This fight was officially at 140. Ryan Garcia said after the fight, I'm not going down to 135 for nothing. He said the Tank fight, if it does happen, will be at 140. I don't think Tank has a problem with that. He's fought at 140 before. Tank Davis went on Twitter last night and he was like, you know, see y'all at the later on this year. Basically, you know, giving off the hint that, okay, he's cool with fighting Ryan Garcia at 140, end of the year. You know, he ready. That's a fight, again, that's a fight that Tank Davis has been trying to make for some time now. So I think it's very realistic, and it's really up to Ryan Garcia if that fight is gonna happen. It ain't on Tank. I know Tank and Mayweather Promotions want that fight. So, and I think he's willing to fight him at 140. Said Tank's best performance was at 140. Hey, a lot of people don't agree. We in the minority with that. I thought that Barrios' performance was incredibly impressive. I thought Tank Davis showed so many levels in that fight. The way he was able to go tit for tat in a chess match with a longer, rangier guy like Barrios who can box, who got a jab. And then when the fight was, you know, seemed close, or when it seemed like you thought in your head, like, okay, now it's time for Tank to turn it up. Now it's time for Tank to take it to that next level. This fight is a little bit too close for comfort. You haven't been able to get on the inside, and then he take his jab away and literally change the trajectory of the fight in 1 or 2 rounds. Start getting to the body. You know what I'm saying? Start changing his angles and landing that check right hook. That performance was masterful. I was very impressed with Tank in his lone fight at 140 versus Barrios. So I think he feels good at that weight. I would love to see Tank at 140 again. Said he dies at 140, too many killers there. Yeah, man. But look, it's a lot of good fights for Ryan Garcia up there. Said he's food. It's a lot of good fights. Ryan has a big frame. He probably can't make 135 anymore. I can see that. I don't think he's moving from 135 because he's afraid. I think it's other reasons why he don't want to fight. I think he already showed that he wasn't ready for the top competition, and I don't think it had nothing to do with weight. He didn't want no smoke with Devin Haney. He didn't want no smoke with Tank Davis. He didn't want no smoke with Lomachenko or any of the top guys at 135. I don't think that had nothing to do with weight, but I truly believe that he is struggling to make that weight, though. You know what I'm saying? So if he's going to be healthier at 140, why not? Shout out to the brother Jay Miller in the building. What's good? Said, I think Lomachenko versus Tank next. I wouldn't be mad at that. I would like to see Devin Haney versus Lomachenko next, and then Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia and the winners fight. That's what I would like to see. Shout out to the brother Lord Sweat, real chop in the building. What's good, man? Hey, be more, homie. CR Ryan Garcia got everybody thinking he got the right shit. Tanks destroys the motto. Hey, shout out to Be More in the building, man. Lewis Sweat always coming through, showing love, representing Be More hard. Mike Rhyme in the building, what's good? Jay in the building, what's good? Motherfuckers really out here saying Ryan too big and he got too much speed for Tank. Yeah, that's cap. That's cap. We seen Tank take down bigger guys. Now, I can't say that we've seen Tank fight anybody with this level of hand speed and punching power. So that will be interesting. I think, you know, there will be some type of, I don't want to say issue, or there will be some type of challenge for Tank to, you know, cut that height down, find his range, get to where he want to be and land those shots. But I think he can do that. I think he will do that. So a lot of y'all feel like Ryan Garcia is going to get ate up at 140, pretty much. It's a lot of good fights up there for him. A lot of good fights, though. I would love to see Ryan Garcia versus a Montana Love. That's a good-ass fight. Telefimo Lopez, good-ass fight. I don't know how long Josh Taylor stays there, but, you know, you compare the frame of Ryan Garcia to a Josh Taylor. I like that. I like that. Some good, exciting fights. I don't think he... You know, I give him a 50-50 chance in all of those fights, but, you know, Gary Antoine Russell. Shout out to the brother King P coming through in the super chat showing love. He just said he thinking the same thing I'm thinking. He said Ryan Garcia versus Gary Antoine Russell at 140. I like it. I like it. Good-ass fights at 140. Shout out to the brother Jay Einstein in the building. What's good? Yeah, Ryan versus T.O. is good. Ryan versus Brandon Lee. Good-ass fight at 140. Good fights, bro. Good fights at 140, man. Garcia may get seriously hurt at 140. You know, I definitely think Tank beats him. Ryan Garcia versus Brandon Lee is a hell of a fight. I don't think they put him in with Brandon Lee because, at least not right now, because Brandon Lee is a really good fighter who hasn't necessarily gotten a marquee win, or I don't think he's put himself in a position to garner enough popularity or attention for Golden Boy to say, okay, it's profitable to put Ryan Garcia in there. It's worth the risk. I think it's too risky for them because they thinking business-wise. It's the reason why we haven't gotten Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia yet. It's the reason why they hadn't put him in there with Devin Haney. They want to keep that mystique that Ryan Garcia is this big, bad, you know, pretty boy with hella punching power who knocks everybody out. They want to keep his image up. You know, he making the Instagram videos, you know, punching people with the bodysuit on and shit. You know what I'm saying? Training with celebrities. They want to keep that mystique up. They don't want to put him in there with somebody just yet that's going to be a threat, at least up until this point. They didn't want to put him in there with a real threat and take that image down, you know? So that's why we haven't seen those type of fights. And Brandon Lee, I don't think they'll put him in there with somebody like Brandon Lee because it's too much of a risk and too less of a reward. Yeah, 140 about to be a fool. 2023, 140 about to be the lick. The thing is, though, we got to get these guys to start fighting each other. It can't be another 135 where it's only one or two guys that actually want to fight. We have to have all of these fighters willing to make these fights. We still got Regis Prograis at 140. And don't nobody want no smoke with him. It's a lot of... Regis at 140 been begging for a fight. And nobody want to get close to him. It's so much talent at 140, bro. So much talent. And I love Ryan Garcia going up to that weight, you know. But it ain't gonna help if nobody at that weight want to fight. Shout out to the brother Ronald Moore in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said, Tank last couple of opponents ain't world beaters skill-wise, but they all could crack. I think Tank chin is underrated. That's a good point. That's a good point. Isak Cruz landed some decent shots on Tank, and he took them well. Mario Barrios has power. You know, that's been well documented. You see in the film, you know, guy can hit. And he rocked Keith Thurman, a legitimate 147 pounder. And Tank Davis took those shots very well. You know, Tank Davis definitely has an underrated chin. I want to see him. You know, get in there with somebody like Ryan Garcia, who everybody views as a legitimate punching power puncher, who has hand speed and all of these special effects that everybody seems to be impressed with, and see how he fares against that. I think he can take Ryan Garcia's shit with not too much trouble. I don't think he'll have too much trouble with Ryan Garcia punching power, but we'll see. Ryan can hit. He can hit. Said they blackballing Regis so he can't avenge that loss. Yeah, it's something fishy going on with how they moving with Regis Prograis. Like, I don't understand why he's not able to get these fights. They put up, who was that they put up for that vacant title? I think it was, who was the two guys that they put up for the vacant title? They gave Ramirez another shot versus, what's that guy's name? It should have been Regis that got an opportunity. He was literally Zepeda. Yeah, Zepeda and Ramirez. So Regis was literally the #1 guy for that sanctioning body, for the WBC, and he didn't get an opportunity to fight for a vacant title. How you get two guys to skip the #1 guy to fight for the vacant title and you don't get a #1 guy one of those slots? That don't make sense to me. Yeah, it's Zepeda and Ramirez, and that's not a bad fight. That's not a bad fight at all, but come on now, Regis got to get one of those slots. A lot of them dudes are being advised to stay away from Regis Prograis. You know, and people want to overlook the fact that the Josh Taylor fight was neck and neck. Like, if you was judging that fight, I wouldn't have been mad if you gave it to Regis. That shit really could have went either way. I thought they should have had a rematch. They should have had a rematch. They definitely should have had a rematch, bro. But 140 gonna be lit. Shout out to the brother Jay Cooley in the building. What's good? Shout out to the brother Ronald Moore back in the super chat, coming through and showing love. He said, gotta handle something but salute contender and hit that like. Hey, I appreciate you, bro. Y'all heard the brother Ronald Moore. Hit that like button right now. If you haven't hit the like button already, please hit that like button. I appreciate it, man. Y'all heard that, brother. Listen to him, man. He telling you something good. He telling you something good, man. Said Regis might go to 147 soon. I can see that. He's definitely a 147 pounder. He can fight at 147 comfortably. You know. But see, I'm one of those people who think that, you know, a fighter, you shouldn't have to move up if you can make the weight comfortably and there's competition in your weight class, but these guys just don't want to fight you. I hate that shit. Like, I hate when fighters have to move up, not because ain't no competition there, not because they can't make the weight, but because these guys simply just don't want to fight them. So now you got to go to a higher weight class just to get some competition, just to get guys that's willing to fight you. But hey, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? I would like to see Regis at least get one of those guys, at least get a Josh Taylor rematch, or at least get a fight with a Montana Love. You know what I'm saying? At least get a fight with a Teofimo Lopez or somebody, and then move up to 147. Because though he was a champion at 140, I think Regis is missing that marquee win. I think Regis Prograis is missing like that key win at 140 so he can have some level of notoriety going up to 147, and it'll make his name bigger. It'll make those fights at 147 more attractive. People would be calling for Regis Prograis versus a Boost Ennis or a Stanionis or something like that. I think he needs one of those marquee wins at 40 first. Regis versus Thurman. That's a good fight. What y'all think about Thurman fighting Lara at a catchweight? I posted in the community, there was an article in Boxing Scene, and Thurman is legitimately considering going up at a catchweight and fighting fucking Erislandy Lara. Why? I don't understand. You got all this smoke at 147, but you want to go fight Lara at a catchweight. And I don't think he can beat Lara. I don't think Keith Thurman can beat Lara. Yeah, Boost right there and Thurman playing. Exactly. And I think that fight is mutually beneficial. The Thurman and Boost fight is mutually beneficial. Thurman gets an opportunity to put himself right back in the mix for title contention because Boots is ranked #1 in multiple sanctioning bodies. And then on top of that, after the Spence and Crawford fight, Thurman will be right in line to be champion again, or he gonna get an opportunity to fight Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford, either one of them guys, the winner. Whether it be at 47 or 54, it literally puts him, it allows him to skip the line and put him right back in championship contention to fight the guys that he claimed he want to fight. And then, of course, for Boots, we know how beneficial that fight is for him. He finally get that name that he looking for. You know, Mr. Catch a Body. He get to put that body on his resume that he been chasing, you know, that top name that he want. And that also puts him in a position, you know, to maybe get a Crawford or a Spence fight. It's a win-win. Shout out to the brother, the Texas Talk in the building. What's good, man? I like that name, the Texas Talk. I like that. Said nobody wants to fight Jerron Ennis. That's why Errol Spence and Crawford moving up after their fight. Nah, I don't think that's why they moving up, because they don't want to fight Ennis. I think Errol Spence will move up because, shit, you become undisputed at 147. He been at this weight his whole career. What you gonna stay at 47 for? That don't make sense. He already having difficulty making a weight. And for Terrence Crawford, he becomes undisputed. If he wins, he becomes undisputed at 147. I don't see no reason for him not to stay or not to move up, you know. But Crawford, I think Crawford can make the weight easier than Errol Spence at 147. So I can see him staying behind, and maybe even if he beat Errol Spence, I think it'll be a rematch if he does beat Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how that fight go, I think it'll be a rematch. But let's say he beat Errol Spence and it's not a rematch. You know, I can see him staying at 47. Or I can see Terrence Crawford honestly retiring. If Terrence Crawford beat Errol Spence and become undisputed and ain't no rematch, I can see Terrence Crawford retiring. Undisputed in 2 weight classes, which is an incredible feat. You know, you become the first 4-belt era undisputed champion at 147 in history. You know, he gonna be 35 when they fight. Like, I can see Terrence Crawford retiring off of that shit. So I don't think those guys considering moving up to avoid Boots Ennis is what I'm saying. Said I think Boots and Spence fight at 154 or 60. I agree. Definitely at 54, because Jerron Ennis says that he wants to become undisputed at 147. So I don't think he moves up unless that fight becomes so attractive and so lucrative that they say, okay, look, Spence, he just got a title at 154. Boots, now you got an opportunity to go up to 54 and become a multi-divisional champion and fight Earl even before he does capture undisputed at 47. I think he'll jump at that opportunity, you know, after he done got a couple of big name wins at 47, became a champion, maybe becomes unified, and then that fight is even more attractive to jump up and fight Earl at 54. But I think it's gonna be some time before we get that Errol Spence and Boots Ennis fight, because he wants to be undisputed at 47. You know, so it's gonna take him, depending on what happens to those belts once the winner vacates, if they vacate and move up, you know. But he'll be directly in line to get championship opportunity. So it might not take him that long to be undisputed. We got to see what it looked like. Shout out to the brother X in the building. What's good? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to, hold on, who I miss? I appreciate y'all for pulling up, man. Shout out to everybody that done came through. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you hit the like button as you pull up, man. I really appreciate you. Said, I think if he beats Earl, he has a chance to beat Charlo. I would fight Charlo. He said I would fight Charlo one last fight. Okay. As far as Terrence Crawford, man, I really don't see. I think it's a different task and challenge for Terrence Crawford fighting Earl Spence as opposed to going up and fighting Jermell Charlo. I don't think either of those guys beat Jermell Charlo at 154. I just think it's a tough ask. You know what I'm saying? So, but I would love to see that. That's a great point, though. That's actually a great point. I would love to see that. If he does beat Earl Spence, I would like to see Terrence Crawford go up and fight Jermell Charlo for undisputed. 3 undisputeds, bruh. 40, 47, 54. That shit would be insane. Like, that's GOAT talk. We talking top 3 at that point. If Terrence Crawford beat Earl Spence, becomes undisputed at 47, then you go up to 54 and you beat Jermell Charlo, become undisputed up at 54, we talking like top 3 at that point. That's GOAT talk, like real shit. We talking top 3 at that point. That's incredible. So he do that, he better than Floyd. I would have to put him like at that level. I would have to put him at like real shit. I would have to put Terrence Crawford at that level, like 1, 2, 3 type shit. Easily. And I would debate anybody on that shit. Shout out to the brother Isaiah Matthews in the building. What's good? Said shout out to you all the way from Watts, California. Man, shout out to Watts, bro. Shout out to Watts. What's good? Said Crawford fight Charlo is like Canelo trying to beat Bivol. Too big, too strong. Yeah, I think it'll be a very tough task. Tough task because you're going up and you fighting a guy who can box, who can move, who has a great coach, has all of the tools that, in my opinion, would trouble Terrence Crawford. Then he got the size, great punch resistance. Jermell Charlo is taking like hard flush shots from bigger guys, harder punchers, and then he can crack. Like Jermell Charlo can legitimately punch, and we talking about at a higher weight. It's different. It's different. I just don't really see much that Terrence Crawford will be able to do versus a Jermell Charlo. You know, but if he was able to go up there and beat him, bro, that shit would be so impressive. That would be extremely impressive. Said, what you think Tank need to, oh, you said who you think Tank need to fight next? He need a big name, end of the year, boxing getting hot. I think he need to go ahead and push hard for this Ryan Garcia fight. It seemed like Ryan Garcia is, and again, like, you got to take this shit with a grain of salt. I don't trust Ryan Garcia. I don't believe nothing that Ryan Garcia say out his mouth. I don't believe nothing that Oscar De La Hoya says. I just don't trust them guys. Just being completely honest with y'all, I don't trust them. They got to show me that they want to fight Tank Davis. That's the fight for him. It's right there. It's there. But they got to show me that they really want that fight. Tank Davis is willing. He's open and he's ready for that fight. Mayweather Promotions been trying to make that fight with Ryan Garcia for the longest. They want that fight. They're even willing to discredit, I don't want to say discredit, but Leonard Ellerbe will downplay the likes of a Devin Haney, who is currently the undisputed champion at 135 right now. The only champion, one face, one name, one champion. He is the man in that division. They are willing to go as far as downplaying a fighter of that caliber to prop up Ryan Garcia to make that fight seem more attractive. They want that fight. They want that fight. But does Ryan Garcia really want that fight? You know? Oscar said, oh no, Tank. Oh no, Tank's a beast. Yeah, on me. I don't believe those dudes. Like, One day they saying they want the fight, and then the next day they like, oh no, I don't, Oscar De La Hoya, no, you know what I'm saying? I don't think Ryan ready right now. They gotta show me, bro. But to answer your question, brother, yeah, I think the next big fight, the next fight for Tank, it should be Ryan Garcia. But that ain't up to Tank though. It's up to Ryan Garcia now. Said Ryan scared to trade punches. You know what? I don't think he's afraid to trade punches. I think it's actually the contrary. And that's what's gonna get him fucked up. I mean, you shouldn't be afraid to trade punches, but I think he is willing to throw and trade and exchange with a guy like Tank Davis, and that's what's gonna get him stopped. And he do it with his chin in the air. You know what I'm saying? He do it with his chin in the air. Said Ryan won't step into punches. Shout out to the brother Rolling Red in the building. Said fans are saying belts don't matter, and that's killing boxing. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. When you got fans saying belts don't matter, it's bad for the sport. It's bad for the sport. That's bad for the sport. When you got fans saying championships don't matter, being the best don't matter, proving yourself don't matter, that's bad for the sport, dog. We can't have that. Say he not getting the most out of his power. Yeah, I see what you saying, Prophet P. You saying that it's almost like you saying that Ryan Garcia fight scared. But I get what you saying because the way he fight is like everything. Like I think that's just his fighting style, like his chin in the air, and he use his range, he throw everything, like he almost leaning back when he throw his shots. And it's almost like everything, he really use his reach, and he don't really like step into them bitches. He don't really like shorten up his shots. I think he could have a lot more power on his shots, but I think that's also, he's stiff. That's a fact. I think it's also him learning how to use his frame. That is why he missed a lot of shots. I think it's also him learning how to use his frame because a lot of the guys that he fight are smaller than him in stature. And I don't think he really understands how to position himself. He just need a little bit more coaching. He need a little bit more coaching because he can use his frame more effectively and still be able to shorten up those shots, and dig in those shots and be able to, because his body, you see his shots, he got power. And those body shots are effective, but I think he can be a lot more effective. And then also incorporating the jab into his repertoire. And I think Ryan Garcia really can be way better than what he is. Shout out to the brother Batman Forever, aka 817 in the building. Salute, man. I always represent Texas, man. Dallas, Texas in this hole, man. I appreciate you for pulling up, my boy. Yeah, Ryan Garcia can be way better than what he is. He said, does his knees work? That's a great question because Ryan don't really like dig into his shots like that. Everything is just stiff. You know what I'm saying? So I see why the brother Prophet P was saying that he don't like to exchange because it looks like that. Everything he does is like it's straight up. You know what I'm saying? Even when he go to the body, he's able to go to the body effective, but everything just so straight up. That's why I think he's so susceptible to a big uppercut to the body, or a right hook from a southpaw like Tank Davis, who has that explosiveness and athleticism to land those shots perfectly and place them exactly where he want them. And that frame is going to be a big target. And once he actually, I think in that fight, we going to see if his knees work. With Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia, we going to see how well Ryan Garcia's legs work because he going to change levels versus Tank. Tank going to go to that body and make him bend down and cover up and make him use that ring as well. That fight is going to reveal a lot about Ryan Garcia. That fight will reveal, if they take that fight next, that fight reveals a lot about Ryan Garcia, and that's why I want to see it so bad. I think we gonna see how well Ryan Garcia used the ring in that fight. We gonna see how good his jab really is. We gonna see how good his feet work. Like 817 said, does his knees work? Can he change levels? You know what I'm saying? Is he too fucking stiff? All that shit gonna get answered if he fight Tank Davis. All that shit gonna get answered. Said we gonna see if his knees work when he on the way down. Shout out to the brother RC in the building. What's good? Said Ryan still doesn't have any head movement. Nah, man. He's still straight up and down, stiff. And you can't fight Tank Davis like that. You can't. Tank Davis is an overall complete fighter and a marksman and one of the best finishers in the sport of boxing. Pound for pound, one of the hardest punchers in the sport of boxing. And when he smells blood, when he sees a shot, when he sees an opportunity to land a kill shot on you, he doesn't miss. And that spells danger for Ryan Garcia and his lack of defense, his lack of defensive awareness, I should say. I think there's one thing that he got to work on the most, his defensive awareness. Because when he throws shots or when he's trying to get to a guy, he's walking him down, it just don't seem like he's aware. He's so open. But he hadn't been in the ring with anybody who can necessarily take advantage of that. I mean, we seen Luke Campbell land a right hook on him and drop him. I believe that was a right hook or overhand right, one of those, and dropped him. Said they bet not make that fight next. I hope they do. I hope they do, man, because it's time. It's time. Ryan Garcia has been coddled too long. He's been protected too long. And it's time to make that fight. It's time to make that fight. You know, you're going to have to jump out there in that water sooner or later. And I think it's time. You know, he's been active. You know, he fought, what was the old boy? He fought to go. You know what I'm saying? Now he just fought Fortuna. I love the activity. It's time for him to go ahead and step it up, get in there with Tank Davis, and let's see if you can sink or swim. We got to see that. Said Tank needs to answer that Haney call out and quit ducking. I agree. Tank definitely need to fight Devin Haney at some point. But again, I'll say this. I see how they moving, and I'll allow it. Even though I want to see that fight, and I know that that's a big fight no matter what they say, Devin Haney versus Tank Davis, I'll allow how they moving. If they going to say I'm a prize fighter and I don't care about belts, I only fight for money, which we can go into that. We already know that they going to make money with the Tank Davis and the Devin Haney fight. That's a profitable fight. It's a meaningful fight, especially if it happens at 135 for all the belts, you know. But again, if they saying that, hey, we prize fighters, we only want to put on spectacles and, you know, entertaining matches stylistically, we only want to put on the fights that fans deem as entertaining, I get it. You know, I've seen guys like Canelo do it for years, and people crowned him for it. So, you know, if Canelo can get away with it for years, you know, fighting guys who they say, okay, instead of the fights that we actually want to see, we just going to put you in there with guys that's going to make you look good. And people allowed it. So if that's what Tank and them want to do, I'll allow it. But you can't come out and say you're going to be the best or you want to be the best or you ready to fight the top competition now, but you ain't trying to get in there with Devin Haney. We can't do that. So that's why I did that live stream, the last live stream we did. When I asked, I said, is Tank Davis a free agent? Okay. If he's not a free agent, if he's still with Mayweather Promotion, I think we answered that. I think we all know that he's still going to be working with Floyd Mayweather and Leonard Ellaby Mayweather Promotions. And we know how they move in Tank. So now we see where he stands. And I know how to approach that situation now. You dig what I'm saying? I know how to approach that situation now. So I'm not expecting Tank Davis to go after Devin Haney. Because, like you said, they don't care about belts. Said Loma, only one that can beat Tank. I don't think Loma beats Tank. I think that's a good fight. I want to see it. I don't think Loma beats Tank, though. I think Tank will stop Loma brutally. I think he'll stop Loma brutally. King Scorpion just said it. Loma can't fight going backwards, and he will get hurt on the inside. I think Loma can fight going backwards, but that's not his bread and butter. He don't like to be in that position. He don't like to be in that position. I think Loma can fight going backwards. I've seen him do it before, but that's not what he would prefer. He like to dictate the pace and be on the inside, giving you angles and making shit rough for you and making you think. You know what I'm saying? He like to be at mid-range to close range and like bodying you up, giving you different angles and shit. You know what I'm saying? But he don't like to fight going backwards. He like to always be the one dictating the pace, pressing the action, making you fight when you don't want to fight, crashing the pocket, and making things rough for you and fucking with you mentally as well. That's what Loma do. But I think a guy like Tank Davis will make him fight off of the back foot. And once he start landing big shots, he gonna make Loma put his hands in his pocket, and it's gonna be all over from there. He'll try to jump in on the inside with Tank Davis and take an opportunity that he see, okay, I can land this shot or I can land that shot. But as soon as he jump on that inside, Tank Davis is gonna be ready for him and set a trap just like he did versus Rolly Romero. Tank Davis set traps. He gonna set a trap for Loma ass. He gonna make it seem like it's sweet. Loma gonna try to crash the pocket like he do. I think Loma is one of the best fighters in boxing when it comes to crashing the pocket, cutting down distance and range, and getting to where he want to be. But when he do that with Tank Davis, it's gonna be something waiting for him. I think Tank gonna set a trap on him and knock him out. Said Loma uses all that movement. He's bound to get caught coming in with Tank. Yeah, facts. He gonna get caught with something jumping on the inside with Tank. Said they ain't gonna let Top Rank get a boost off Tank like they bamboozled Dev, Floyd and Bill and Dev close. Said regardless of the business, and they didn't like the way Bob did Dev and won't reward it. I don't know. I think the situation that Devin Haney in right now with Top Rank is not a bad situation because he's kind of like on some contract killer type shit. Okay, you signed me for these 2 or 3 fights. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get paid. I was able to capture Undisputed and be in a position that I wanted to be in. He wanted that opportunity to be Undisputed, and he got it, though he did have to give up a whole lot of shit. But now I think he in a driver's seat. I think Devin Haney in a really good position with Top Rank because even though he signed to a big network and a big promotional company, I think Devin Haney and Bill Haney, they actually move like bosses. They actually can make the fights that they want to make. They want to make, as opposed to guys like Tank Davis. Tank Davis, he really can't move how he want to move. I think Devin Haney can move how he want to move, and that's a good position for him. You don't really see a lot of guys with Top Rank that are in the position that Devin Haney is in because they went over there, they took a partnership, they took more of a partnership approach as opposed to a fighter signing under a promotional outfit approach. Most of those guys with Top Rank are just fighters signed to Top Rank. But Devin Haney and his situation with Top Rank is more of a partnership because they really moving like bosses over there. Shout out to the brother Ramad King in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said, we seen 2 ways to beat Loma, but 0 ways to beat Tank. Loma doesn't like to get touched. That's a fact. That's a fact. We seen a fighter who has, I believe, 15, 16, 7, maybe even more losses, been knocked out 6, 7, 8 times, in Orlando Salido, we seen him get on the inside with Lomachenko and give him all type of trouble, all type of fits. He don't want that smoke with Tank. We seen him get in there with Telefimo Lopez and have his hands in his pocket because he didn't want no smoke with that power. And then you wait until the last 5 or 6 rounds to try to turn it up, and it's too late. I just don't think Loma can make it 12 with Tank. At some point, he gonna take too big of a risk and get caught. Say you right, fam. I just don't see Floyd doing business with Bob. Now I agree with that. I agree. I don't think. I definitely don't think that Floyd is willing to do any type of business with Bob Arum unless it's like a super big opportunity to make some money. But I will say this: you 100% right on that. But I will say this: I'm not gonna use that as a reason why that fight hasn't happened and why it most likely won't happen. Because to me, that's a cop-out. To say, well, now Devin Haney is signed with Top Rank, that's the reason the fight ain't gonna happen. Nah. Because they could have been made that fight happen. You know what I'm saying? And I think the fight still can happen because Devin Haney more of a boss. He more of a boss. If Devin Haney want to fight any of these guys, he can make it happen, but it's up to them to actually agree. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney really a boss. He ain't like Tank Davis. Tank Davis got to ask Floyd, can I fight Ryan Garcia? Can I fight Devin Haney? You know what I'm saying? Can I fight this guy? Devin Haney ain't got to ask nobody, can he fight nobody? It's up, he can go make a fight because of Devin Haney Promotions. They really move like a real company, like a boss. But if these guys, if the opposition don't want to agree, then the fight ain't gonna happen. Shout out to the brother Kevin Brower. Kevin Brower in the super chat coming through and showing love. He said, I know this would never happen, but what you think about Broner versus Ryan Garcia? That's the type of fight that they would make. Entertaining. Not very meaningful, but an entertaining fight. I think Adrien Broner take that fight because it'll be money involved. It'll be money involved. You know what I'm saying? That's an interesting fight. That's a very interesting fight. That's a very interesting fight, honestly. That's a very interesting fight. At 140, I wouldn't be mad at that at all. Broner versus Ryan Garcia, that's a fight that they would make. You know, you would make money. I don't think it's a huge risk for Ryan Garcia because at this point, Adrien Broner, you know, I mean, he's Adrien Broner. What can I say? He really haven't been that guy that we all expected him to be since he was at 130 or 135. His last fight with that fight that he had with DeMarco, that was the last time we seen Adrien Broner just really be that. Or no, I'll say when he fought Emmanuel Taylor. That was the last time I seen Adrien Broner like be Adrien Broner. So I don't think that's a big risk for Ryan Garcia, and it's a money fight. So I wouldn't be mad at that. Say Undisputed wasn't at PBC at the time. Said AB should have just went back to 140, man. Damn. Yeah. Yeah, man. He should never took that down Marcos Maidana fight and skipped the whole 140 weight class. Went up there thinking shit was sweet. Said, yeah, the Taylor fight was... Yeah, bro, that's my A17. That's my favorite Adrien Broner performance because he got pushed in that fight. He got pushed in that fight. That's my favorite AB performance because AB showed character in that fight. He showed that he could come out, have a chess match, then go through adversity, and then when he needed a knockdown the most, he got it in the 12th round. It was beautiful. That fight was a war. It was half chess match, half dog fight. That fight was a war. That was AB like, and it was in Cincinnati, in his hometown. The ring was small as hell. It was like one of the smallest rings that I've seen in boxing. So them guys really had to like go at each other. And there was a lot of shit talk leading up to that fight. That was a great fight, bro. That was one of my favorite Adrien Broner performances. You know what I'm saying? But let me see. AB versus Ryan Garcia is a poison pill fight. AB would trick the public plus the hood in them. Hey, for real. You know, AB gonna promise you a knockout. He gonna say, hey, look, I'm back. I'm focused. You know what I'm saying? Look, I had to get my shit in order. I'm focused for this fight. I've been training. I'm in hella shape. He gonna tell everybody everything we want to hear. He gonna tell the fans, you know, on God now, on the hood. I'm doing this shit for the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like, AB gonna sell you such a beautiful fantasy. And for the most part, we eat it up every time. For the most part. He done got me too many times to where it's like, you can't get me no more. AB can't get me no more. You know what I'm saying? AB done tricked me too many times, bro. It's like, after a while, I can't blame AB no more. I gotta blame myself for falling for the trap every time. AB gonna sell you a good ass story, a good fantasy, and everybody gonna be like, okay, nah, this the time. Yeah, he finna get him this time. He said, I don't even know who Nim is. Hey, nah, bro, it's over with for bro. But I was still like, I told y'all what I wanted to see from AB. I want to see AB go out there and just fight straight D-level fighters. Just fight. You already done been through hella wars. You done became a 4-division champion, the youngest to ever do that shit. Look, you good. We know that you got a ceiling. You hit that ceiling. We not expecting you to go out there and beat the top competition. I would like to see AB just showcase his skills. Just fight C and D level guys and beat their ass. Build your name up. Get you like 4 or 5 D level guys. And then at that 5th or 6th fight, then you cash out with a top flight guy, with an elite fighter. Now you got a whole, you done had 5 or 6 straight knockouts. Giving them combinations that we all love to see from AB back when he was at 130. Then you cash out with a top guy. That's what I want to see from AB. That's what I want to see. I don't expect AB to be competitive versus the top guys. I just don't. He said to me, AB's best fight was his loss to Marcos Maidana. Okay. The problem is he never tapped back into the depth that he tapped into that night to try to stay undefeated. You know what, Eric R., that is a great point, because if you go back and look at that fight, Adrien Broner really didn't lay down in that fight. That's the reason he didn't get stopped. Now, there were other antics that he pulled in that fight which helped him, which was smart, like rolling on the floor and shit, creating more time for himself to recover, doing all this shit, humping on Maidana and shit, you know what I'm saying, doing all this wild shit to create more time and kind of take a lot of the intensity out of the fight so he can kind of regain himself. But outside of that, he actually did go back when Marcos Maidana took the 12th round, when Maidana had him on the ropes. It looked like he was finna stop him. AB was in that bitch fighting for his life, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was going tooth and nail with Maidana, like throwing everything he had, taking shots. His jaw was, you can see that his jaw was fucked up, but he was still taking flush shots on the chin, you know what I'm saying? Throwing punches, like giving you combinations. I'm like, damn, you feel me? AB really fought for his life in that fight. But like the brother Eric R. said, he haven't been able to tap into that depth since then. He did versus, he tapped into that with the Emmanuel Taylor fight. But since then, I haven't seen it. And remember, like I said, in that Emmanuel Taylor fight, it was in Cincinnati. He wasn't finna lay down. That's why I said I want to see every fight AB have from here on out. That shit need to be in Cincinnati. He fighting Omar Figueroa in Chicago. That's gonna be one of those fights where he might have to fight for his life. He might have to fight for his life because Omar Figueroa. Now, this is a very winnable fight for AB. But Omar throws a lot of punches. And when he get his shit, when he get momentum going and he get you on the ropes, it can be bad. AB gonna have to let his hands go. in this fight. It ain't in Cincinnati, but it is in the Midwest. So he gonna have a lot of fans coming out. I don't think it'll be the same atmosphere like it was in Emmanuel Taylor fight in Cincinnati, because he wasn't finna lay down and get his ass whooped. Emmanuel Taylor was putting so much pressure on AB where it was like, bruh, it's either fight or get my ass whooped in front of all these people. And you done walked out with Baby and Young Thug and Rich Homie Quan and shit. Like, come on now. You know what I'm saying? You done walked out to Lifestyle and shit. And you in Cincinnati, you got everybody in, everybody's there. You know AB brain got the celebrities, at least he did when he was at that point in his career. So I just thought that was a perfect atmosphere. That type of atmosphere is what AB need. You know what I'm saying? He gotta be in a Chicago or in a Cincinnati. And the matchup gotta be right. So I think that we might see. Now look, AB doing it again. He doing it. Look, he tricking me to be intrigued about this fight. He doing it again. See what I'm saying, bro? He doing the shit again, bro. He tricking me. He playing mind games, bro. He tricking me to have intrigue about this fight. But it could be that, though. I'll tell you one thing. If he don't let his hands go, he gonna get his ass whooped versus Omar Figueroa. I'm gonna tell you that. If he don't let his hands go, he gonna get his ass whooped against Omar Figueroa. If he don't let his hands go, he gonna get his ass whooped against Omar Figueroa. That's for sure. Because this could end bad for AB if he don't go in there and fight. Say, yeah, Omar ain't the guy to keep your hands in your pocket with. Big facts, bro. You gotta fight Omar Figueroa. You can't just sit there and just try to do that little, that off-brand shoulder roll and stand flat-footed, ain't moving your head and not. Nah, he gonna throw punches. And this might be the first time in a long time that Figueroa is healthy, because we really haven't seen Figueroa active and healthy. I think this is his first fight since he lost to Ugas, if I'm not mistaken. So this might be the first time where he's healthy again. You dig what I'm saying? This might be the first time. Let me get Buddy up out of here. He wildin'. Never heard of him. Let me see. Shout out to the brother John Wick in the building. What's good? Say he got to let his hands go crazy. Omar punch rate. Yeah. Punch rate a fool. Punch rate a fool. Said AB gonna come out jabbing, acting like he not getting Hey, no, AB do be doing that shit, bro. He be getting hit and then acting like he ain't getting hit. You know what I'm saying? AB come out throwing the jab, motherfuckers touching him. He shaking his head like, bro, you ain't touching me. Come on now. Shout out to the Queen Boxiana, the Menace in the building. What's good? I appreciate you for pulling up. Said, well, looky. Yeah, man, you done missed the whole live. I told y'all I do pop-ups now, you know what I'm saying? We might bring Merlot Fridays back sometime soon, man, but the schedule been so crazy, I can't do nothing but just pop up on y'all. But I gotta pop up on you. You know what I'm saying? Gotta tap in with y'all. Said sports psychologists and hypnotists. If I don't hear anything like that with AB's name, he ain't coming back. Said he has in-ring shell shot. Damn. Oh, the brother Eric R getting deep with it. He said AB has in-ring shell shot. He relives that night whenever there's adversity. Bruh, you speaking some real shit. Hold on. He said sports psychologist and hypnotist. If I don't hear that, then AB ain't coming back. Look, that's some real shit, because every time he does get into a tough spot, it's like I can see that shit. I can see where it's like he don't want to be embarrassed. He don't want to be in a position where he gets knocked down or he gets hurt really bad and he looks as vulnerable as he did in the Maidana fight. That's the truth. I see that shit. If the shit ain't coming easy for him, he just gonna go into straight defense mode, like straight survival mode. I don't want to look bad. Even though, cause go back to the Manny Pacquiao fight. I thought AB could have won that fight, man. AB had good counterpunching ability, had a good jab going. There were spots in that fight where he looked more than competitive, where I thought like AB can put this shit together. But as soon as shit got rough for him, he just going straight defense mode. He don't want to be embarrassed again. AB is cool with going 12 and losing, as opposed to taking a chance that he could win and get his ass whooped. You dig what I'm saying? I see that. Brother Eric R just gave y'all some real game. That's some real shit. He got shell shocked, bro. You know what I'm saying? Every time he faced adversity, every time shit get real in there, it's just like, okay, let me just not get my ass knocked out. Let me just not get knocked down. Let me just not look as bad as I looked in the Maidana fight. And let me just make it. Let me just go 12 so I can say at the end, I beat that boy. So I can say on God and them, I beat that boy. So until AB can get over that, he'll never be anything close to what we thought he was going to be. You know what I'm saying? The Vargas fight too. Shout out to Gutter God. That's a fact. Said we tried to get AB some help. He didn't want it. No, for real, man. For real. That's what it is with AB. That's what it is. He ain't gonna let his hands go. But in this fight with Figueroa, I'm telling you, bro. If he go in there with that whole, I'ma just try to survive shit, it might end bad for bro. It might end bad for bro. Like, he can't do that with nobody that throw as many punches as Omar Figueroa. And Figueroa got a little pop on him too. He can't do that. He can't do that. Said he already reached his peak. Yeah, I think so too. But again, it's more of a mental thing with AB though. Because physically, I still think, he ain't that old. He about, 32, 33? He not an extremely old fighter. He got a lot of miles on him because he been in hella wars. And he done fought a lot of top competition. That's one thing you got to say about AB. He done been in with the best. Now, that's kind of like I'm on the fence with how I look at that, though. Because I give him credit for taking these tough fights, getting in there with elite competition, top guys. But then when you get in there, you don't really go for the gusto. So I can't really give AB credit for his willingness to get in the ring with these guys, because that in and of itself is, it takes a level of confidence and courage to do that. But at the same time, when he get in there with the best guys, he don't want to really fight. He don't really want to let his hands go and take a chance on getting his ass whooped and getting embarrassed. Do you think he gonna be Hall of Fame? That's a great question. What y'all think? Do y'all think AB gonna be Hall of Fame? I mean, he is a 4-division champion, the youngest to ever do it. Now, I know he didn't fight the best guys to get those titles, but that gotta count for something. If Tim Bradley in the Hall of Fame, I think AB gotta be Hall of Fame. I don't know though. That's a great question. That's a great question. Prophet P said, hell no. That's a great question, though. Shout out to the brother Mark McClennan in the super chat, coming through and showing love. He said, remember Floyd caught Maidana with no padding in his gloves. To this day, I believe that man cheated AB, and I am no AB fan, but right is right. You know what? You got a point. I wouldn't put it past him. I would not be surprised if Maidana actually did have no padding in his gloves when he fought AB. because them punches he was now Maidana can hit now, so I don't know. Maidana got real power, real power. Now I don't know if he been doing that shit his whole career with the pushing the horsehair back in the gloves and make it to where like ain't no pad in that bitch. I don't know if he been doing that his whole career, but that motherfucker can hit. Marcos Maidana, bruh got real power, so I don't know. Said he Hall of Fame for sure. Okay. I say as inflation continues to skyrocket, AB just said boxing should be a job for him. Now I agree. Damn, he said this is just a business for AB now. This shit ain't about competition no more. That's why I say he need to fight 5 or 6 D-level guys and put on spectacles. You know what I'm saying? Just get you about 5 or 6 knockouts in a row and then cash out versus a top guy at the end of that and then call it a career. That's what I say. It's a business for AB now. You know what I'm saying? This shit ain't about competition no more. Say gotta be Hall of Fame. Yeah, I think, look, hold on, I said I do too. I always point to that episode that Floyd caught. Oh yeah. He caught Maidana with the MS gloves with the horsehair pushed to the back. Big facts. Said nah, it was padding in his gloves. Yeah, I think AB, man, if I had to say one way or the other, I would say AB gets in the Hall of Fame. Just because of the 4 division championship, bro, you really can't sneeze at that. You really can't sneeze at that. Said AB turning into Ivan Redcatch. Oh, shit. Now, that's real talk, man. He's a journeyman at this point. You got guys like, when you got the youngsters coming up, calling you out, and they looking at you as food and not the top guys, because you got Conor Benn talking about, I want to fight AB. Now, this not the equivalent of Boots Ennis saying, I want Errol Spence or I want Terrence Crawford, because those are the top guys, and that's legitimately who he pairs himself with as far as competition. That's who he want to fight, because he believe they the best. Conor Benn calling out AB because he think he fooled. Conor Benn don't want to fight Jaron Ennis. Conor Benn don't want to fight Errol Spence. He don't want to fight Terrence Crawford. They done came out and said, look, we not ready for the top guys right now. But he's calling out AB. When you got the youngsters looking at you as food, that's how you know you reach gatekeeper status. That's how you know you are Robert the Ghost Guerrero status now. Ivan Redcash. You know, Chris Algieri. You know what I'm saying? That's how you know you on gatekeeper status now. Did you already talk about Rolly calling out Earl? I didn't. I heard somebody say that, but I didn't look into it like that. Is he for real? I can't even take that serious. Like Rolly calling out Errol Spence. Come on now. I can't even take that serious. I thought somebody was bullshit. I thought that was clickbait. I ain't gonna lie to you. Then Rolly versus Spence at a catch weight. Man, say. Come on now. He trying to get his career ended for real. He done already went out there and got his ass whooped versus Tank Davis. You know, had his booty in the air. Had him on the ropes looking like Martin when he fought Tommy Hearns. You get in there with Errol Spence. Come on now. I don't even want to see that. I don't even really fuck with Rolly like that. And I don't even want to see him get done how he would get done if he fought Errol Spence. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I thought it was clickbait when I seen the title. I'm like, but that shit real? He really called out Errol Spence? Come on now. These folks wilding now. You know what I'm saying? These folks wilding now. That's worse than Gary Russell Jr. saying he want to fight Terrence Crawford. That's worse than, Mikey Garcia saying he sees something. If Rolly Romero legitimately called out Errol Spence, the man got something wrong with his head. Said he was playing, but he did say, I want Spence droopy eyes. So, he had to be playing. I haven't even seen a video. I thought it was clickbait. I thought somebody was playing. I thought they was bullshit. But he need to get in there with Frank Martin. That's who he need to be trying to fight. Said it's a shame. I think AB could still do big things at 140. Hey, Captain, bruh, AB got this. He got this type of energy about him, bruh. You know, where he can lure in the fans, bruh. Like he has this alluring energy about him, dog, where he can trick the fans every time. You still think he can do big things at 140? Man, it's done. That man cooked. That man cooked. I don't think AB can beat none of them top dudes at 140, man. It's over with. Said AB that guy, charismatic. Coach Calvin said Frank Martin remind him of Terrence Crawford. What you think? I don't know. I don't really see those similarities. Frank Martin and Terrence Crawford. I don't really see it. You know, I'll say this. I mean, they're both counterpunchers. Frank Martin does have like a sharp shooting aspect to his fighting style, especially when he's fighting as a counterpuncher, allowing the guy to be first, you know, looking for pinpoint shots. I mean, they have some similarities, but I wouldn't say like stylistically they look the same, or I wouldn't compare Frank Martin to Terrence Crawford. But Coach Calvin, shit, he looking at it from a different lens. You know, he's a boxing coach who done seen many different styles. He actually trained these guys. Maybe he sees something that I don't see, but I don't really see it. I think Frank Martin is just, I think he's more, I don't want to say that. He got a different style though, for sure. Shout out to the brother Devin Haney in a super chat coming through and showing love. Said, what's your opinion on T.O.'s return? That's a good question. Did Teofimo Lopez, I ain't even really calling him T.O. I'm gonna keep calling him Teofimo till he come back and show me that he got real character. You know, because even after he got his ass whooped and they tried to ask him about the Devin Haney and Kambosos fight, he talking about some conspiracy shit, talking about the fight was fixed and all that. Teofimo still acting like, you know, he still ain't showing me that he a stand-up dude, so I can't even call him his real name. But I like to watch him fight. Have he announced that he's going to fight, that he's coming back, and he got an actual opponent and a date? You know what I'm saying? Have Teofimo actually announced that he got an opponent and a date? I would like to see him go up there at 140 and take on a Montana Love. You know what I'm saying? Montana Love, Regis Prograis, any of them guys at 140. Ryan Garcia. You know what I'm saying? I like Lopez. I would like to see him fight either one of those guys because I think they're all entertaining fights. So he coming back in August? Okay. Versus who? Who is Lopez fighting in August? Pedro Campo. That's the dude that AB was supposed to fight, right? That's the dude AB was supposed to fight. Pedro Campo. Okay. I'm going to watch it and see what he do. You know what I'm saying? I'll definitely check him out and see what he do. You know? But Lopez, he need a comeback fight that builds his confidence up. He need a fight that's going to, you know, put him back in that position where, okay, I'm still at the top. I can still get knockouts. You know, I'm still on the elite level. He need a fight that's going to give him that confidence. So, you know, once he does, because he going to need that fighting at 140. It's a lot of dogs and killers at 140. He need a fight that's going to put him back at that level. You know what I'm saying? Confidence-wise. Because I think his confidence is shot. You know, all that shit that they was talking leading up to the Kambosos fight, You seen how they acted once they got them belts. You know, got a couple of dollars now, this nigga think he Ricky. You feel me? Acting like everything funny. You know what I'm saying? They ain't gotta abide by the champion rules where you defend your belts versus the best. And when you get an opportunity to unify with a guy like Devin Haney for Undisputed, you take that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? The same way Kambosos acted when he got them belts. I don't know what it was, but boys just started acting funny when they got them belts. And I think his confidence is shot after taking that L to Kambosos. I need to see him get his confidence back. I want to see him get in there with somebody that he can look good against and get his confidence up. And then after that, take on one of the killers at 140 because it's a lot of them up there. And I hope Josh Taylor stay at 140 longer too because I don't really see him doing a whole lot of shit at 147. Said if his pop still in his corner, I don't know how to feel about that. He definitely need a new coach. He definitely need a new coach, for sure. He definitely need a new coach. Said that fight, that's what that fight is. Facts. Yeah, Pedro Campo, that's definitely a comeback confidence fight. That's exactly what he need. Yeah, Montana Love versus Lopez. That's a great fight. I would love to see that. That's a great fight. Taylor going to 147. He just want the smoke to clear so he can grab a vacant belt. Facts. That's facts. But it's going to be long for that smoke clear because Boots, Stanionis, Butayev, Rashidi Ellis. It's a lot of smoke that's going to still be there after Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford do their thing. So we gonna see, man. We gonna see. But look, y'all finna go ahead and get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate everybody for pulling up. Everybody that commented in the regular chat. Everybody in the super chat showing so much love, supporting the channel. I appreciate that. Make sure you hit the like button if you haven't already hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all boys for pulling up, chopping this boxing up with your boy. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? We gonna drop more videos this week. It ain't really been a whole lot of shit going on in boxing over the last month or so. But I think shit is heating up. You know what I'm saying? I think we gonna get some announcements here soon. So we gonna definitely continue to cover the unfolding news and fight announcements. You dig what I'm saying? But look, Contender Regime, boxing, I'll holler at y'all, man. Y'all enjoy y'all Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Have a great rest of the weekend and a good week. I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good one.